Good morning. Today I'm going to answer some questions I get about using the loofah I grow in my garden as kitchen sponges. So let's start with what is loofah. I grow loofah in my garden. It is a vining plant. It produces these long gourd-like fruits that can be eaten when they are young, but if you let them mature on the vine and dry out, they form these fibrous materials that you can then use as bathroom sponges or kitchen sponges. I keep mine in this holder just so that it has a nice little place to sit on my counter. And let's get started with the most commonly asked questions. The one question I get a lot is, does it work on tough food residue? So I have a pan that I cooked scrambled eggs in this morning, and I'm going to show you how it does. Okay, so there's still some egg residue because if it's not a non-stick skillet and something is really cooked on, the loofah may not be abrasive enough to get rid of it completely. And that is why I keep on hand a piece of steel wool. And this thing lasts almost, I don't know, probably a whole year. But that's what I use to finish getting off any really stuck on food. To answer the question, sometimes I need to augment the loofah with steel wool if the food is really cooked on and it's not a non-stick skillet. Second question I get is it okay to use on non-stick pots and pans? Here is our one non-stick pan, and we have been using the loofah to clean it, and it has not scratched it or caused it any damage. While the loofah is abrasive enough to clean dishes, it's not so abrasive that it's going to scratch your non-stick. How long does a loofah sponge last? That is really hard to say because it depends on how much you use it. Typically, once mine starts looking really worn out, I will transition it to one that I use to clean the sink. So I don't clean my sink with the same sponge that I use to clean our dishes. I keep one that is old and pretty used up to clean the surface of my sink. And then once the loofah just feels like it's not doing anything anymore, I make sure to rinse it out really well. And then I compost it. Does it get gross? If you keep it rinsed out, I don't think it gets gross. I actually think that the food particles rinse out of it really well. I scrubbed scrambled eggs residue with it, and there's none left on the sponge. And when it does start to get a little gross, it becomes the sink cleaner one. Is it okay to compost the loofah after having soap on it, like using it? That is not something I am worried about. There are way more things I'm worried about in the world than whether there's a little bit of soap residue on a loofah this size that's going in my compost pile. But also, if you rinse it out really well, there's not much residue, if any, left on it. Those are the answers to the most frequently asked questions when I talk about using loofah as a sponge. We do not buy any sponges other than having one steel wool around. I no longer use the green kitchen sponges, and they don't go to the landfill, and I feel really good about that. And when I need a new loofah sponge, I have a bag of all the loofah that I grew last year. This is the luffa from 2, maybe 3 plants in the garden, and this will last me over a year. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments.